All right, I am going to make a short recording here to walk through some of the top questions that you may have for your final draft of the APA template. So let's get started. The steps of this assignment are that I want you to first read the feedback that I shared with you for your first draft. Then schedule a time with a tutor, meet with that tutor, get some documentation of your meeting, get help from the tutor to help you with any of the corrections, then make those edits, save your new documents, and then upload that along with documentation of your tutor meeting. Sometimes there's questions about what do I mean by documentation of a tutor meeting? Anything. You decide what's going to show me that you had your meeting with the tutor. Sometimes students will make a screenshot of their online meeting. Sometimes they'll have that tutor email me and tell me that they met with me or met together for a tutoring session. Sometimes they'll show me their appointment record or their email about their appointment. So all of those work. Just show me something to add your meeting. So next question that often comes up is, where do I find a tutor? You're going to have two options for this assignment. One is that you can schedule with a college tutor and use our Navigate system to schedule an appointment, or you can use Smart Thinking. And there's a link also for that in our Blackboard course. So I'll show you in a moment where you can find each of those supports to find your tutor. Do you have to pay for the tutors? Nope. Tutors are going to be absolutely free for Foresight Tech students. I included an assignment because I think they're going to be really helpful for you, and I hope that once you find out how you can locate them and utilize them, you'll use them for more of your other classes and future classes. So what should I do when the tutors are not listed for human services? This sometimes can trip up students. There is not a specific tutor available for Intro to Human Services or any human services classes, but instead you can get help from a tutor for writing assignments. That is often the task that you're working on in a human services course that might challenge you, and get them to help you with outlining, organizing, using APA, setting up a thesis statement, setting up anything for a paper. For this specific assignment, you're going to be asking for help with setting up a template using APA guidelines. So this is a final draft, but is there a topic for the paper? Nope, no topic. This assignment is just to practice setting up a paper and to practice how to set up citations and a reference list. So no new directions than what you already followed for the first draft. So how am I going to grade this thing? There is a specific rubric set up, and you have a possibility of getting 100 points. I'm going to give you up to 15 points for formatting, then up to 13 points for your first in-text citation. That's the direct quote. Then 13 points, or up to 13 points for how you set up in-text citations for 2 of the paraphrased examples. So make sure you're doing both of those. Then up to 13 points for each of your 3 sources. So very important to have a reference list that you're including 3 of the sources. Those sources, remember, should match the ones that you have from your citations. And then lastly, you can earn up to 20 points for consulting with a tutor and making those edits based on the feedback from our first draft. Those all add up to a possible 100 points. So what should I do with that tutor? Specifically, the question is, when we meet with a tutor for the final APA paper, will we just need to share the rubric and our mock paper? And if so, will they be able to help us implement the necessary changes? That's exactly the idea. Just show them what you're working on. Show them and ask them what your specific questions are, and ask them for help figuring things out. They're not going to do the work for you, but they're going to be your coach and your guide. So what do you put in that final draft? Again, the final draft will not hold any new content. So it should still be just based on following directions. So those were the questions. Is there anything new in the final draft or just the same directions? Again, just follow the same steps and directions for the first draft. Nothing new to work on. Just figure out any needed corrections based on the feedback that you received from your first draft. Again, are you still confused about the tutors? So what if you cannot meet with a tutor or don't have the money for online tutor with Smart Thinking? The tutors are free for Foresight Tech students. The college has arranged for college tutors that are on the payroll with the college. They also have a contract with Smart Thinking, which is the online tutors that are an outside vendor that the college uses. So I hope you're going to have time to figure out how to use them. They're going to really help you a lot in later courses too. If you don't do this step, don't skip the whole assignment. If you skip this assignment, you're going to lose probably 20 points and maybe more because you'll miss out on the type of help there'll be. So what is it that you're going to be asking the tutors? And specifically the question is, for the final draft of our APA paper, do we just need to ask them to look over the rubric, or do we send them both the paper and the rubric? I'm sure we have to follow the guides that they give us to better our paper, but we have to add and remove any actual information. So I recommend when you set up with a tutor that you use them in a way that is helpful for you. Ask them the specific questions that you have. Tell them what you're confused by. They're not going to do the work for you. So if you say, I don't know how to do my paper, they're going to say, well, I can't write it for you. If you say, here's what I've set up for my citation, I'm not sure it's right. Can you help me figure out how to set it up correctly? Or you can say, I don't understand what a peer-reviewed journal is or how to follow the steps for setting up a source on my reference list. And they can guide you with the answers to those questions. Again, for your final draft, you're not adding anything new to your paper. You're just following the directions on your and setting up a template. That template should remain the same setup, same directions as that first draft. So scheduling with that tutor might still be confusing, and can I help you with figuring that out? So specifically, a question came up that for the upcoming assignment that we have to meet with a tutor, could you tell me how to set up that appointment? Do we still go through Starfish, and that the last time you tried setting up, nothing happened? The college has shifted away from using Starfish. So if you've been around when we had that source, that we've changed to using this thing called Navigate, which I think works a lot better. And you can use that to schedule a college tutor. So you just go to the Navigate page, and then if you're not sure where on Navigate to schedule an appointment, this collection of steps, I gave a link also in some announcements. This walks you through step by step how to use Navigate to schedule a time to find a tutor. And then also some questions came up of how can you use the other resource for tutoring, which is Smart Thinking. Smart Thinking is the online tutors that are available 24/7. The tutors that are outside of the college, but the college contracts with the service. And how do you access those? You can go to the link on our Blackboard course. There's a link on the left side menu. We'll go take a look at it in just a moment. You use your Foresight Tech ID and password, and when you're beginning, they might ask you to go back and confirm something through your email. You don't need to pay anything. You're just using it through Foresight Tech. All right, so key points, and then we're going to take a tour where we find everything. I want to make sure that you review my feedback so you're understanding what areas you need to correct. That feedback sheet is also set up in the same way that I'll be grading this assignment. So you can go back and look at these slides, but you can see what I'm going to be grading on. Don't forget that you're going to be consulting with a tutor. That is part of the grading for this assignment. It's 20% of the grade. Get some sort of documentation or note or screenshot that you show me that you met with them. Or make a note when you're uploading it to tell me that, you know, your tutor either emailed me or what you did. And remember, there's still a lot of answers in that folder for our first draft. Inside there were our videos of how to set up the paper. There was also an example of a template and an example of an APA paper. Those all should be making more sense to you now and be useful for finishing up with this assignment. All right, so I want to go and just take a look at some things in our course. I'm going to switch. And you should be now looking at a screen with me. We're going to go over to our Blackboard course. You can see right there's an announcement that I gave you some links about finding the tutor. Where else can you find those? Right along here on our left side menu, there's a link right here for online tutors. So you can go through that. Start walking through the steps to access through Smart Thinking. If you want to use Navigate, you'll go through this link here. And you'll sign in with your school account and then follow the steps. There'll be a menu on the left side for appointments. You can walk through picking a appointment with a tutor. We'll go here under coursework and we'll scroll down to our specific assignment. All right, we're looking at the final draft. And we go inside here. There's another helpful video that I've used at a previous semester. The directions are right here. They're going to look the same as what you did your last assignment, your first draft. And then you're going to upload right here. When you upload, you can also find the rubric that I'll be using to grade your assignment. So you can look up close how you'll be earning points in this assignment. Okay. One last thing under coursework, I want you to remember that you have a folder here for your first draft. Inside there is this folder for APA online tools. Inside that, you have a couple of videos that you may want to check if you had any issues with formatting, setting up your paper. There's a sample paper also inside there. And one last thing, if you didn't find it the first time, there's a sample APA template. That is an exact replica of what you're working on. So you can take a look at that. You'll be filling it in your own work. All right, so hopefully that solved some of your questions. If you have more questions, please reach out. This assignment is coming up at our next due date, and I'll look forward to working with you on any other problems or solutions that we can find.